Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Talkin Kop. It is Monday, the 24th of March, and this international break feels like it's going on for about a month. I'm Gav, I'm on my own. I know it does say in the description Chris, but Chris mistakenly thought I was talking about tomorrow instead of tonight. So here I am on my own to talk about Liverpool and a little round about what's going on. Of course, it is an international break, I get that. So I just wanted to touch on a couple of things. If you're in the chat, hit like, subscribe, all that stuff. Most importantly, put some comments in there if you want to talk about anything that you've noticed Liverpool related since our last game. And as we approach, still another 9 days until we play Everton at Anfield. It just feels so long away. It's literally in April, and we're in March. It's next month. We don't play Everton until. But look, Avo says hi Avo. Oisin says good evening. Good evening, Oisin. If you have anything Liverpool related you want to talk about, throw it in there and help me out in the next half an hour or so. The international break, I felt Liverpool needed it. I felt we needed a little mental break from everything Liverpool at the moment. The players did. They had a really tough couple of weeks. They performed really well. They go out of the Champions League. It's on penalties. A bit of a lottery. In a tie that you could argue, could we have won it in the second leg? We are so outplayed in the first leg, but we go out. Really poor performance against Newcastle, but holding nothing against Newcastle. I thought they were excellent and their game plan was brilliant and they deserved to win the League Cup, and I think their celebrations might be this weekend sometime. So best of luck to them with that. And it just felt to me like a mental kind of thing, mentally get away from it, come back refreshed. And in fairness, when we come back, I think most of the players will be back fully by Friday of this week. They have got 4 or 5 days to get themselves ready for the Merseyside derby, which is huge because we all know Liverpool are 12 points clear. There's 9 games to go. A lot of people feel the league is over. It's done. A lot of Arsenal fans are telling you it's over. A lot of Liverpool fans are telling you it's over, but you still have to get it done, and a couple of draws and it's like, oh Jesus Christ, this is now in single figures and stuff like that. But Liverpool very, very clearly have 4 league games here: Everton at home, Fulham away, West Ham at home, Leicester away. If they win them 4, they're champions, in my opinion. It'll put them on 82 points. It would only mean if you won them 4, considering Arsenal, or presuming Arsenal win all their games, that you need to avoid defeat at Anfield against Arsenal out of 5 games left. So it is one of those huge 4 games coming up for Liverpool. But this international break, I think it's a nice reset, I think, for Slot even to go away and have a look and assess what's gone on in the last couple of weeks and where we've fallen down in certain areas and maybe players aren't impacting stuff. But then you look at the international teams and they go away, like Virgil van Dijk. I think he played another 120. I think he played 90 for Holland against Spain. Then he played 120. We're not thanking Holland and Spain for that, most definitely. I've no problem with Cody Gakpo though. I'm not too sure he plays in the first game, but he plays 78, I think, in the second game. Cody Gakpo needed that. Cody Gakpo needed football to get back into a rhythm because he looked way off it when he came on against PSG and when he came on against Newcastle. He just looked like he needed to get back into a rhythm. So, differing fortunes, I suppose, on the whole minutes played front when it comes to Holland. Szoboszlai's been away and played. Endo's qualified for the World Cup. I don't even think most teams have started their World Cup qualifiers, but Endo, yeah, he's qualified. And just Kelleher's getting games for Ireland. Trent obviously isn't there. Robertson's been away with Scotland. Kanate went off with a knock for France in their first game. I don't think he featured in their second. So I'm not too worried about the knocks. Little knocks, no problem. Come back, get back to Liverpool, get yourself sorted, and we go from there. But it's one of those international breaks where I don't watch an awful lot of international football, but I'm watching players. I'm watching how did they get on, how many minutes did he play, this sort of stuff. Fingers crossed everyone that's still playing international football doesn't pick any bad injuries, says Oisin. Yeah, absolutely. John says, hi Gav, do you think Kanate signs a new contract if Virgil does? Back to these contracts. I'm seeing multiple podcasts this week talking about these contracts again, and I've deliberately veered away from them. And as a channel, we've deliberately veered away from them because we've talked so much about them and nothing's really changed. nobody's walked away from the table from what we can see. Players haven't said no, enough's enough, I'm off. They haven't signed for anybody, which they can. The club haven't got out in front of anything to say, oh, we've offered great money and it's up to the players. Nothing's come out like that. You have seen Market come out with Trent has already decided he's going to Real Madrid a long time ago, and nothing will change that. In fairness, Market were telling you in January that he was signed, sealed, delivered, and it was going to be announced. So I take that with a pinch of salt. But the Konate one, I think he's 18 months left on his deal, does he? Or is he 2026? So we count as about 15 months left on his deal. Would that be right? I don't know is the answer. I could come up with some sort of theory, but I think all theories around contracts and what Liverpool are at has been blown out of the water by these 3 contracts. There's mitigating circumstances. Those players going into 18 months left in their deal are told that Jurgen Klopp is leaving the club. They probably put a little bit of a stop on that, and probably the club did as well. And let's see how we get on this season. Now, this season is brilliant in the league, but let's not make any bones about it. There'll be players there going, we need to do more in the Champions League. We went out in the last 16. We were brilliant in the group stages. We're unlucky with the way this whole makeup of this Champions League is done, because it's a farce. But we still went out. And, I've heard stuff around Trent saying, no, it's not about money. It's about where the club is going and stuff like that. And people will say, what's he talking about? But in fairness, if you sit down and think about it, we all want that league. We all want that league. And as soon as that league is won, we'll be delighted and we'll have a great time. But then we'll start looking at where they're going to bring in players. We done a show last week. Where do you think we might bring in players? Where do you think players will go? So not only us doing it, players do it as well. Like, what happens if these 3 or 4 go? Who are they going to bring in? Are they going to be better? Are they, it's a test of slot. Bringing in players he wants, and you'll probably come across things where they go, well, it's Richard Hughes picking the players. Well, it's not, because Arne Slot has a major say in the players that come in to this football club. But with Konate, look, I think there's going to be nerves around the fan base when any player gets within 18 months now, that it can just run and run and run. Liverpool take their time, but clearly take their time. Probably too much time. I'd love to see Konate sign a new deal, because I feel like when you bring in another centre-half, it's going to be, in my opinion, Virgil's replacement. Not immediately, but in the long term. And I think the natural leader in that back line, unless it's a Virgil style leader that you're going to bring in, is going to be Konate. When you look at what's there, Gomez, big learning curve, has an awful lot to do. Gomez, future up in the air without a shadow of a doubt. So if Konate is looking at himself and wants to be at Liverpool, he could be bordering on captain material, because if Virgil leaves in the summer or the next couple of years, if Salah does the same, Trent, there's your 3. They're the 3 to get the armband. Konate Konate could be one in the queue for possible captaincy. If it's not full club captain, it could be vice captain. But with regards to his contract, Jesus, I could say anything to you, and it could be true or it could be not true, because we genuinely don't know what's going on. And to be fair, this summer's going to tell you a lot, not only for players leaving or going, but how we're carrying out business, because we haven't seen how this new Liverpool setup carries out business. We've seen how they don't carry out business, and we've got the reasoning behind that, whether you like it or you don't. But you're going to have to wait and see. Jared says, sorry, I'll come back to you, Jared. Got to win the next 4 to ease any nerves amongst the fan bases, Oisin. Yeah, I don't think you need to win the next 4. I think if you win 3 and draw 1, and you put 10 points on the board and you have 80 points with 5 games to go, there's no nerves. There's simply no nerves. But you don't. I think what you want from these next 4, O'Shane, is you don't want to put, say, 7 points on the board or 6 points on the board, 3 draws and a win, and you kind of go, right, 6 plus 12 is 18, but they've taken in 12, now there's 6 points in it. You don't want that. You want to keep that at a minimum of 10 points, I think. So if you put 10 points on the board, you'd be still minimum 10 points clear with 5 to go, and you'd be absolutely fine with that. I think the derby is huge. I seen today Everton are 9 games unbeaten, I think, in the Premier League. It's the second longest run in the Premier League this season behind us. We're 25 games unbeaten, and that you have to remember that Liverpool are 25 games unbeaten in the Premier League. But it's huge. I don't think Everton have come to Anfield in the last 15 years, 10 years anyway. Yeah, 15 years easy. Where they haven't been as organised as this and believe in themselves as much, and their manager has them playing the way they want to play. They're going to be hard to play against. They're going to be tough. They're going to be disciplined. But Liverpool, I think Liverpool need a big night. Liverpool need a big, strong, aggressive night from this Liverpool side. Not in the wrong way, not in an aggressive, rough and tumble way. Aggressively going at Everton, and I think that'll kickstart you. Fulham away is a difficult one. I fully expect to beat West Ham and Leicester, but I think if you beat Everton, it just puts you on such a wave to go, and we learn a lot from this Everton game, and I fancy Liverpool to win. Don't get me wrong, we're at Anfield, we very rarely lose at Anfield, and I just think it's big. But yeah, the next 4 are massive, absolutely massive, just to put everything away, the sort of way. Let me see. League is over, says Jared. We have at least a week off, in some cases more, before the next game. Yeah, so we play Everton next Wednesday. We then go to Fulham on the Sunday, which is 4 days. And then I think we have a week in between. It's either 6 or 7 days and sometimes 8 between games. And that gives us a chance to look at teams and assess them and see where gives us more room and more time to put a plan in place for these teams. And to be fair, if I'm earning a slot and going in and going, right, this is what we're doing the next 4. This is what we're doing. This is the team I want to play. This is where we're going to go about it. And if you come out with 10 to 12 points in the next 4, everything's absolutely fine. Let me see. Jared then comments. O'Sheen says, surely we see some announcement on the big 3 contracts by the end of April. You'd think that, wouldn't you? But what makes us think we're going to hear anything? Genuinely, what makes us think we're going to hear anything from anyone? There's been reports out there that Liverpool are confident over Mo Salah. They're confident over Virgil van Dijk. They're still in extensive discussions with Trent Alexander-Arnold. And if that's true, it means that Trent hasn't decided where he's going, or he hasn't 100% told Liverpool that he wants to go. So it's just tiring, isn't it? Even without going beyond, like, what does the team look like without these players, or what's it look without 2 of them, or 1 of them, or all 3, or do we have all 3 going in next season? It's just tiring. It's just a side issue that we don't need, and some of that's down to the player, and some of that's down to the club, and they have to sort it out one way or the other. But as I always say, come this probably the 17th of August is usually around that weekend when the league starts. We'll all be watching Liverpool, and no matter what 11 are in the team, we'll all be supporting them. But it would be nice to, you see, right. My thing on this is I get worried over these contracts now, because if you look at the effect of Jurgen Klopp leaving and saying he was leaving had on this team at the back end of last season, which I think it did. I think it became a bit of a farewell tour, and I think the players got wrapped up in it a little bit. And part of me thinks, are we steering away from that? Are we steering away from it and saying, right, look, they're not staying, but we're not saying anything? Are we steering away from that? I think the biggest one will be if Liverpool win the next 4 league games. I think the 5th one might be Spurs at home, which you could guarantee the title with. If we're to win the next 4, I think after that, I think when the league is decided one way or the other, whether that's in 4 games time or the last day of the season, I think that's when you're going to find out. I think when things are clear cut on Liverpool's season, you may hear what's going on. You might hear a little bit more coming out with regards to what's going on, but it's really weird. Jared says, I think all 3 will leave. I'm resigned to that fact. It doesn't go on this long if you're staying. Yeah, I see that point, and look, I've just said to you, they're keeping this quiet, not to derail anything. My only thing that's keeping me a little bit positive on it is that any of them players can turn around tomorrow and say, yeah, I'm going to win the league with Liverpool, but I'm off to Real Madrid, or I'm off to PSG, or I'm off to Saudi Arabia, or I'm off to wherever, and they can do that. They're well within their rights to do it any day of the week that they want. They do not have to wait. They can sign a pre-contract agreement since the 1st of January. We are nearly 3 months into that, and none of them have done that. That's the reason I'm keeping that little bit of positivity on it. O'Sheen says, I'm sort of glad now only one game a week, can focus more on training while it's less fatigued, no longer 2 games a week. Yeah, I think that's a massive thing for Liverpool. Arsenal, of course, have those Real Madrid games coming up, which will take an awful lot out of them. But we don't need to worry about Arsenal. What we need to do is we need to go in and go, right, that derby, it's difficult. Let's win it. Let's go to Fulham. Difficult game. Let's go and let's put everything into it. Let's win that. And then you're kind of going, right, now we're 12 points clear with 7 to go. Even if Arsenal win their games, doesn't matter. 12 points clear with 7 to go. And then you win your next one, and you're 12 points clear with 6 to go. And then you win your next one, and you're 12 points clear with 5 to go. It's all about us. It's all about us. For the record, I can't see Arsenal winning 9 games. I still think Arsenal probably struggle to break 80. I think they struggle to break 80. I do. With the games they have going on in Europe still, and you never know how far they go with that. It's not a write-off against Real Madrid, but it's not about Arsenal. It's about us. It's about us doing our job. And look, it's very simple. Liverpool need 15 points from 27. That's what they need. 15 points from 27. That's all you need. Just go and do it. And let Arsenal take care of Arsenal. Let me see. Missed the lad yesterday, Gav, says Andy. Yeah, we took a weekend off. We don't usually do that. We've been absolutely flying for I don't know how many months with so many shows every week. Sometimes 2 on Saturdays, 2 on Sundays, all through the week. We've been very busy with the Patreon stuff as well, where we're trying to give everybody value for money there. We're trying to keep 2 and 3 free shows a week on here, but we just needed the weekend off because there was no football. We'd only be coming on to talk about what, so we've taken the weekend off. We don't know what we're doing next weekend, but this week we've plenty of stuff going on, which I'll talk about later. And then it's back into it. Then it's back that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, weekend, Sunday, game, reaction, more reaction, Sunday night show. There's loads and loads of stuff coming. So we kind of took a breather before the last absolute hurrah on this season, which is going to be mental when it comes to shows and reactions. And we're planning. There's a lot of us going over to Liverpool the last weekend of the season. We're planning some live shows there, recording some live shows and recording some pre-record stuff. So yeah, it's just going to be mad busy. So we took the weekend off. It's a pity we can't do the open top bus parade at the moment in Liverpool. The route they take has all the trees and blossoms in red and white. It looked brilliant on the telly, says Avo. Well, if we'd have won another 3 or 4 games and Arsenal had lost another 3 or 4 games, we could have. But you'll never get it until the 26th of May this year. The 26th of May, I think. So there you go. No debate. O'Sheen says, no debate. Got to be big decisions made about incomings and outgoings in the summer. Yeah. I'm not really at that stage yet. I am thinking little bits, and I want to get on to a couple of them in a few minutes. I'm not really at that stage. I'm so focused on this league, and listen, I have mates, Liverpool fans, Arsenal, United, and they're all saying to me, the league is over, you might as well be looking beyond that. I can't, and I don't make any apologies for it. I can't look beyond this league until this league is confirmed as Liverpool's. And, people will say, yeah, but like Arsenal are going at 2 points a game, and, and I'm kind of going, yeah, that's okay. But Arsenal could easily go at 3 points a game for the rest of the season. I'm not saying they will. I don't think they will. But in my own psyche, you don't let your foot off the pedal. You have to keep going. And until that happens, then I can start looking at, right, who might go, who might come in. But we'll talk about a few of them in a few minutes. Let me see. We won't beat Everton, says Faster Tortoise. It's a cup final. Why won't we beat Everton? Let me know why we can't beat Everton. We can beat Everton. We won't beat Everton. I don't know, but we absolutely can. Everton are on a really good run, drawn a lot of games, won some games. they've never come to Anfield as confident, but I don't mind Everton coming with a bit of confidence to Anfield. The last time I remember Everton coming to Anfield with a confidence was 13-14 and got their arse handed to them. A 4-0 win. Sturridge, Gerrard, Suarez. There was someone else as well. Can't remember who else scored that night. But yeah, I don't mind Everton coming to Anfield with a bit of confidence because they might open up a little bit, but I don't think they will. Moyes hasn't got a good record at Everton, or Anfield seems to get to him as well. Arsenal haven't won 3 in a row all season. In my honest opinion, it's done and dusted by the time we play Spurs, says Gar. If you win your next 5, it's done. Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. If you win your next 5, it's done, and Spurs is the 5th one, I think. We haven't played well for a while, says Gary. We need to turn up versus Everton and not let any nerves in. Couldn't agree more. I think we've played okay. I thought we were quite good against Paris Saint-Germain the second leg. It was just a brilliant game of football. Both teams went at it. I think maybe lacking a bit going forward, and that's the worry, because I think we massively lacked it going forward against Newcastle. And it wasn't like we weren't getting the ball up front, but it was very like we were very tentative when we did. I think we're missing Gakpo massively. I think his physical presence on the left-hand side, his direct running, he can bully defenders, he's dangerous inside, he's dangerous outside, he's dangerous at the back post. I think multiple of players are missing him. I really, really believe that. I think he has an effect on the left back, air left back. I think he has an effect on even the guy on the other side of the pitch, and Salah. Salah looks for him, and he links quite well with whether it's Jota or Nunez or Diaz through the middle. I think we've missed him massively, and that's where I go back to Slot and assessing things. I think Slot will look and go, right, okay, this isn't working, that isn't working. I think in Elliott and Chiesa, to a certain extent, he's looked and seen impact, bit more energy in them, a little bit less fear maybe. Felt like Liverpool were a bit fearful on the ball against Newcastle, constantly trying to recycle it, but recycling it way too deep. Instead of playing it into midfield like Salah, he was playing it back to Gravenberch, who was very deep during the game. So yeah, I'd agree with you, we haven't been brilliant, but we've had a tough run of games. We've come out of it in the league really well. We've gone out of Europe, it happens, and we just went good in the League Cup, and that can happen as well. But I do agree with you. I think we need to be right on it next Wednesday, and I think they will. Steve says they will turn up. They'll get the opportunity to plant a seed of doubt in this Liverpool team. That's the only thing going for them with regards to Everton. Yeah, it may be. But the other thing for me is with Everton, like people are saying, they'll throw their game against Arsenal and stuff. They won't. They won't, because they're trying to go out as strong as they possibly can. Moyes wants to go out this season as strong as he possibly can, which gives them more leeway or more leverage on their owners to invest with him going into Bramley Dock next season and into a Premier League season with Everton, where they don't want to be fucking November, December going, we're bottom 3 here again, because that team, for all its parts, could be in the bottom 3 next season. That's the truth of it. It could be. A couple will leave Everton. They don't bring in the right players. He'll want to do as well as he can. And I'm okay if they want to come to Anfield and be confident and come out and play us. I'm okay with that. If you go back to the derby, wasn't a great game of football. We should have won it. We didn't. You see how big it was for them, and fair enough. But this is big for us now. And we want to turn Anfield into, which I think is a much better atmosphere than Goodness. We want to turn it into that. Liverpool fans need to go and say, right, this is it now, and really go at it as fans, and everything else will be will take care of itself. I know Faster Tortoise. I know your real name is Steve, and I know you're nervous over this, and that's okay. I'm a bit nervous over it as well. I'm confident in the side, and I'm confident in what we can do and what we can achieve, but stranger things have happened. So you want to, I think in all this, you want the next blow to be in our favour, if you get me. Like if we draw on Wednesday night and they win and you're like, fuck, it's 10 points. That's a blow for them. They've landed a blow, in Arsenal. And they go, well, if we win one more and they lose another one, then it's 7. The next blow needs to be us. To be nothing better than Fulham taking a draw at the Emirates on the Tuesday night, and we win and go 14 clear. and that's a blow. I think the next blow needs to be in our favour just to settle anything. But I don't think much needs settling. That's the thing. I think we just need to do our job. Jerry agrees. He says, I agree, Gav. Aggressive is right. That's just the way I feel about it. That's the way I feel about most of the time when we're playing. Coconut Coil says, hello all. I'm just about ready for this season to resume so we can get this number 20. See? He's not having a bother. Coyle is absolutely fine about it. Tried to move Everton game to the Tuesday, but league rejected it. Who tried to move it? Who tried to move that? Weird. Why would anyone want to move that to the Tuesday? Bit weird. Anyway, Avo, in reply to Steve, says, yes, we can do it in May, but the blossom will have gone by then. This is the trees that Avo's having a huge issue with. The route looks fantastic at the moment because of the blossom as it is red and white alternating. There you go. Avo, checking out the trees along the Strand. Let me see. If Trent wants to leave, I'll personally pack a suitcase for him, says Steve. I thought we missed him in that final. His output. I thought we missed him. There you go. Zach said 0 for 3. Absolutely criminal from the club. There's no excuse for this. You see, Zach, I think you're 50% right. But you have to remember, there's two sides to this. Colin says 0 out of 3 would be a thundering disgrace. I'm not going to lie. If we lose them 3 players, I'd be fucking devastated. Because I think for the now and for our ability to plan for the future around such solid players, I think it'd be mad. But you have to remember, there's two sides to this. The club could be banging on their players' door going, this is what we're going to give you, this is the best contract, and then players are going, no, we want more. The players could be banging on the club's door and saying, look, I want this money, I think it's very reasonable, and the club are going, no, we don't feel you're worth that going into these twilight years. We don't know. And until there's an outcome either positively or negatively on these contracts, and when this happens, as sure as night follows day, the leaks will come out as to what's gone on. We don't know what the issue is, right? But as I said, on a positive note, nobody's walked away from the table. Because if Liverpool were offering derogatory terms, I would expect 1, if not 2 of them players to come around and go, right, I'm signing a pre-contract, announce it, fuck it. It's not going to affect me winning this league anyway. Do you know what I mean? And they get out in front of it. If the club were offering monstrous money and the players were saying no, I'd fully expect the club to be out in front of it already, putting out the feelers to say we've offered an amazing contract and we can't, and it's not gone any further. Listen, as much as we think Virgil van Dijk, Mo Salah, Trent, or anybody else that's due a contract in the next year or 18 months is loyal to this football club, and in a perfect world they are loyal and they love playing for the club, and players come out and say they love it and it's the best place they've ever been. At the end of the day, if you love your job, if you go home, there's bigger things in your job, and it's your future and it's your family and it's whatever else. So nobody's walked away from the table. That's my take on it. That's me positive on it. My only negative is, are they keeping a possible negative vibe to this quiet until the season is mathematically done? That's my take on it. Either way, I'm not blaming anyone at the moment because I don't have the evidence to blame anyone. I just don't. And people will tell you, oh, you're standing up for the club. I'm not. I couldn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I'll get the contracts done. But if I was giving you a direct message to these players, or Michael Edwards, or Richard Hughes, or fucking FSG, I'd be straight down the barrel of the camera saying to all of them, get it done. Not you have to do this. You just get it done. Find a way to get it done between you. That's where I am on it. Let me see. Yus says, Mo and VVD, we're onto these contracts and I tried not to do this. Mo and VVD have made it public they want to stay on the club now, unless they are being completely unreasonable with demands, which I imagine they aren't. Again, you don't know. I'm not saying they are being unrealistic, but maybe it's just a bit high than what the club want, or maybe the club are a bit low than what the players want, or it's just, you don't know. You don't know. Arsenal will slip up again, so we just have to do business by winning now and focus on ourselves as Oisin. Yes. Marky Mark says, my prediction of them getting sub 75 points is looking good now. They have 2 Real Madrid games sandwiched between 2 tough enough games as well. Yeah, there's a lot going on with Arsenal as well. Absolutely is. Owen says, I'm not fond of Madrid at all, but hopefully they embarrass Arsenal. I think it'd be a really good game. I really do. I think it might suit Arsenal to sit in against Madrid. A lot of teams do. I don't think Arsenal have many of the players back that they want back. I'm dreading to see them bring this Saka lad back. I actually worry for him. But Arsenal have nothing to lose. And sometimes when you have nothing to lose, you know, you can go for it. Like if Arsenal go out with that 4-2 on aggregate, it's no disgrace. Absolutely no disgrace. Especially with the players that they have out and the team they have and the way they're playing. Because they're not playing well. They beat Chelsea last week and I seen a lot of Arsenal reaction to it going, that Chelsea side, fucking terrible. And I spoke to an Arsenal fan who's very, very honest and went, God, we were fucking brutal. We were brutal. Chelsea were shocking, but we were brutal. You know, and they're not playing well. They win a couple of games. Yeah, that's fair enough. But are Liverpool performing less well than Arsenal at the moment? I don't think so. That's where I am. I just don't think so. Peter Jackson could make a whole fucking film about this contract saga. Yeah, Gucci'd up says, sup Gav, how's it going? Gucci'd up, how are you? Got to the point now we're even looking at Arsenal now. We only need 4 wins. Not even looking at Arsenal, says Jared. I give both my legs and one of my tonsils to be over there for the final game. I'm going over for the final game. I'm not going to get a ticket. I'm not even having an ambition to get a ticket. I wouldn't, waste my time. The amount of money that's going around with regards to tickets is off the scale, and I think it's fucking mad. And I wouldn't pay it, because my argument on tickets is if you pay that now, when it comes to next season and you're going, oh, they're charging 100 quid for that 50 quid ticket. Yeah, but you paid 400 and 500 for the ticket on the last day of the season. And again, you have to question where they're all coming from, the tickets. And the chance are you'll agree 400 and then you get told, no, it's gone because they found someone to buy it for 8. It's a horrendous situation, but it's one, no matter what the club do, unless the club go to fingerprinting people or retina, ID or facial ID or whatever it is, it's never going to stop, ever. Steve says, we look leggy. They'll put more intensity in. Maybe so, Steve, but is there any positives you have over Liverpool playing Everton at all? No? Maybe not. I'm not saying Everton will be easy, but we're a better side than Everton. We're at home. We've better individuals. And I fully expect Liverpool to be rocking next Wednesday. I really do. We really do miss Trent when he's not there. Need someone to step up if he's off to Madrid with Diaz. Is Diaz off to Madrid? That's a new one on me, Darren. Let me see. Do you know what I did see during the week? Just on and I wanted to ask you. Something here about Everton. Sorry, before I go on. 2 hours to get out of the ground where there was only 24,000. It was going to be more than when there's. Is this the test event at Bramley Dock? I did see something about this the other day. Problems getting in and out of the ground. You see, they don't have the biggest area around it. What I mean by that is you're very quickly on the main roads. You're very quickly on the main thoroughfares when you come out of that ground. It looks fantastic, by the way. Anyone that tells you it doesn't is a liar. But yeah, it's a bit weird. 24,000. Right. It's a bit weird. Yeah, what did I want to ask you? John asked, Gav, would you want Kerkez at Liverpool? I'm a bit mixed on Kerkez. How do I put it? I really like him. He's very much all action for me. And he reminds me of a young Robertson a bit. Probably a bit of a better footballer than Robertson, technically. But I don't know if that's what we want. And this is the thing. Now, my only thinking is if Trent does go and Bradley, who has his injury worries, you're bringing in another right back. I'm wondering if you're bringing in a right back that's a little bit more steadier, a little bit more reserved, and you let your left back go. But when I watch Robertson, the only thing with Robertson at the moment with Liverpool is, does he fit? When we're looking to retain the ball and move it quickly, he's more of a smack bam wallop sort of player, and Kerkez is a bit like that for me. But then again, I could be completely wrong. He could come in and be fucking excellent. Would I take him? I'm not sure he'd be my first choice, but I could understand why Liverpool would go for him, because he's had two seasons, I think, in the Premier League, and he's been really, really good, and he'd be sought after in the summer. The only problem I think you're going to have is I think Semenyo's going to be very highly sought after. I think Huyson, the centre half, is going to be very well sought after. There's going to be a few at Bournemouth, and I don't think they're going to want to lose them all in the one go. So it may be a case of get in there and get in and get your player first before Bournemouth say, right, that's enough. Because I can't see Bournemouth letting 3 or 4 of these players go. I just can't. They're a very well-run football club that don't need the money every season to survive. So I wouldn't be against them, but I don't think it'd be my first choice. Who's my first choice? I fucking couldn't tell you. I really couldn't, because I'm still trying to work out what to do with the left-back situation in the summer. But that's probably another conversation for after the 25th of May. Steele's back. He says, let's make this the 2030 season. 20 Premier League titles and 30 years since Everton last won a trophy. Well, your 30 is secured, and you just need to go and secure a 20. Anil says, what a way to launch a new kit manufacturer. Announce contract renewals. Well, the only thing is, Anil, we've announced the kit manufacturer, but we won't see any of that until August. No, maybe July. It's usually May. I think it's July this year. The word is you're going to see an awful lot of Istanbul 20th anniversary merchandise coming out from Liverpool from the mid-April through May. Keep an eye out for that. So there you go. Saka playing next Tuesday from the off, says Oshin. I wouldn't be surprised. I genuinely. Let me see. Gav, what do you do? Trent to Madrid confirmed before we win the league. I don't know what that means. Gav, what do you do? Trent to Madrid confirmed before we win the league. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what's going to happen. And anyone telling you it's definitely going to be this or it's definitely going to be that are fucking... They're just making it up in their head and hoping they hit black or red in roulette. Honestly. Has anyone watched Adolescence, says Garmac? I haven't. I've heard it was 4 episodes and it could have been done in 3. That's going to turn me off a little bit. And Dico says, needs to be a nasty atmosphere next Wednesday, like that law had at their place. Yes. 100%. Gav, there's a fella in a house beside Anfield who sells tickets. He has 15 phones with a ticket on each for each home match. Sells them for 175 to 275. Collect the phone and drop it back afterwards. Yeah. He's not alone. I know loads that do it. Loads that do it. Andy Kaufman says, I can't see these comments. And then he says, but I'm behind. Never mind. Okay, thanks for that. No, I'll tell you what, just to finish up. El Nacional, don't even know, there's some sort of publication, right? I wouldn't say they're reliable, but they put out a story the other day saying that Harry Kane is eyeing a move back to the Premier League this summer, and Liverpool will be his chosen destination. And I wanted to ask all of you, what would you make of Harry Kane coming to Liverpool? Now, I will say this. I think he's too old. 1. I think he costs too much money for that age. 2. And I think El Nacional talking shy. Just threw Liverpool's name in. 3, right? But it got me thinking, and I asked, I think it was Emma and Sean I was talking to about it, and I was saying to them, lads, he's the perfect player for this team, right? And what I mean by that is the style of play he has. Really good with his back to goal, links play with his wide men really well, gets in the box, takes chances, good footballer, good at through balls and stuff. I think he came on massively when Mourinho was at Spurs. And Gary says he's 100% not an Edwards signing. I 100% agree with you, right? 100% agree with you. Andy Kaufman says he can't press. I completely get that, right? But 400 grand a week at Bayern, says Garrett. Look, there's loads of reasons why not. What maybe my question is, if it's not Harry Kane, are we looking for someone in that mould? Someone go back to goal, good footballer, can see a pass, can build up play, interchange and play, but gets in the box, and when a chance does fall to him, he scores. Because I don't think we make an awful lot of chances for our number 9. But are we looking at someone in that mould? Is that why this story's come out? Someone's thought Liverpool will be brilliant with Harry Kane, but it's not going to be Harry Kane, if you get me. Wages are too high to coke and coil. FSG won't spend the money on a player his age, not unless Slot convinced them otherwise, says John. I agree. If Salah is gone, possibly replace his goal, says Antico. Not someone who needs replacing in 18 months, says Colin Henry. I'd love Kane, top class player, says Owen Book. So before we go, is there any names? I don't want. Let me put it on record. If Liverpool are signing a striker in the summer and you were to give me any of them, I would go for Julian Alvarez. Right? That's who I would go for. I think he's made for this Liverpool side. He has the experience in England. He's something to prove in England. He's probably going to cost you 100 million euros. Fine. Right? But I think he's perfect for this side. Isaac, really, really good striker. But I feel like he's a off the shoulder kind of striker where I don't think we play that way. But I just want to get some names obvious before we go as to what striker you would go for, and would it be in the Kane mould? Because I think Alvarez is brilliant with his back to goal, link and play, seeing passes, being interchangeable and taking chances. So I'll let you throw that in. Before I go on, our friend Peter Smith, he is at the Vicar Street in April, which is sold out, by the way. I don't know why I'm telling you this. It's sold out, but he is there in June, and he's also in Limerick in June. If you go on to Ticketmaster, you'll be able to see the tickets for his show. It is all about Phil Linna, the front man of Tin Lizzy. It looks a fantastic show. The link is in the description if you'd like to look up the tickets, see the availability. But if you get a chance to be in Dublin in June to watch that, or in Limerick, check out the dates. The link is in the description. Go for it. Absolutely go for it. Give Peter support. We've been promoting him now for the last month, 5 weeks, constantly. We're going to stop in the next couple of days by doing that, so we don't burn everyone's head out. But I really want to tell you that if you have got the opportunity to go and see this, go and see it. And then later on the year, he's releasing a new film called Code Red Spain. The little trailer video is in the description for that as well, and that'll be coming on. It hasn't been confirmed what platforms, but that'll be out, I think, September, October this year, and it looks really good as well. What else? What else have I got to say to you? If you're watching and you are a member on YouTube, we've told you for the last month, 5-6 weeks, not to renew your YouTube membership. We've stopped doing the membership shows on YouTube. So please, if you're watching this and you are a member, hit the cancel button. We've told you multiple times to stop by the 18th of March. Some people haven't. Some people have renewed, and we're asking you to please stop because, well, listen, if you want to support the channel by doing that, fair enough. But we are not doing any more member shows on YouTube, okay? Everything has gone membership-wise over to Patreon. We're delighted at how it started. The shows have been excellent. The variety has been excellent. The feedback has been brilliant. There's been one or two teething issues with people getting in and accessing shows in a certain way so they can do comments and stuff like that. But we're going through them and we're trying to walk through them and we're trying to give all the information on Patreon. If you want to go over to patreon.com/Talkin Kop, you can see all the bands that are there or the tiers that are there to sign up to. $3 gets you all the members shows in audio version. $5 gets you them all in audio and video, which means live shows with the comment section. You get pre-recorded shows which come up as live, so you can comment live as it's going on and interact with other people at the same time. And it's been really good. Oisin's loving the vintage show on Patreon. Can't wait until the next episode. You won't have to wait long. You will not have to wait long. And I think, Oisin, I'll give you a little spoiler alert. It's on the 1986 World Cup. Phil is doing it. And it's goals in the next vintage show. We have a high five show coming up where people pick their top 5 moments. Well, some of the 5 of their top moments. And we've another new one coming. We haven't even given it a name yet, but it was a suggestion, I think, by Dylan O'Rourke, where we're picking our best LFC 11, but not on players, on goals. It'll all make sense when it's done. So if you're not a Patreon, come across. You can do the $7 tier, which is basically the $5 tier with a €2 tip. But you don't have to do that. I'm not asking you to do that. I would suggest the $5 tier because you get everything there. It's a great mixture of the free shows, which you can access from Patreon straight into YouTube and watch like you're watching now. It is pre-recorded stuff, which are drops as live. So while you're watching, you can type away and people are interacting with each other as the show goes on. And then you have full live shows where it's live and you're in and you're commenting and everything else like that. And the reason the pre-recorded stuff is pre-recorded is because we're using clips. We're using loads of clips, highlights and stuff like that we won't get away on YouTube, but we do get away with it on Patreon. It's brought loads to the show. People are loving it, I have to say. To cancel your membership, says Oisin, go to settings, memberships tab, then click Talkin Kop membership, then click cancel button. Perfect. Thanks a million, Oisin. So if you haven't tried it, I'd suggest you go in, try the $5 membership a month, try it for a month, see what you think. But we're literally bringing out shows every other day now. We've a load of stuff coming this week, and you know what, we've added extra shows in. So the final 20 is the last 20 minutes of the 3 p.m. games, where we have 3 or 4 people on screen watching these games and telling us how it's getting on. We have Good Process, which is a look at the referee's performance from the weekend stuff, which is good. We've the High Five, which I've told you about. We've got Vintage, which I've told you about. We've a new show coming in a couple of days, which Keith is going to be partaking in. We have another one with Chris, which is called Forward Thinking, which is basically we pick a topic, we give you little bits about it, and you have to explain it in 4 words. It's a good game we play. So there's loads going on there. Again, thanks a million if you've been a member on YouTube. But if you're watching now, please cancel it. Unless you just want to support us in that way, but please cancel it and think about going over to Patreon. We have chat rooms in there. If you have any issues, you can type it into one of the chats and we'll sort it out there. We have polls. We put Liverpool news in there. Loads of stuff. Way more than we've ever done before. And the feedback has been excellent. And any issues, little teething issues we've had, we've tried to deal with, and it looks like we've dealt with them fairly quickly where people are happy. So there you go. Oisin is loving the expansion on Patreon. Listen, if people go on and they don't like it, by all means go to Patreon and say, lads, that's not working for me. But we haven't had anyone that says that hasn't been working for them. The amount of members we had on YouTube have nearly signed up to Patreon, plus a lot of names that we've never seen before. So it's obviously getting attention from somewhere else. And we're trying to give you a big variety on stuff from today, Liverpool history, football history, people's favourite moments, goals, highlights, reaction. We're trying to do as much as we possibly can for you. Everyone on the podcast putting in loads and loads of work. And to be fair, plenty of people have come to me and asked, can I be on shows? Can I be on this? And I just haven't had the time to bring them on because of the work we've been doing. But we will start looking to bring 1 or 2 more people into the fold that are able to come on, have the facilities to come on, the camera, the mic, the whole lot, and get them involved as well. Because look, it's Patreon, it's member shows. We're keeping our 2 and 3 live free shows on YouTube, and yeah, by bringing more people in, we can do more. So that's what we're trying to do. Gav is trying to confuse the fuck out of us. Count Arthur Strong style. No, I'm not. I'm trying to keep it as close and as simple as I possibly can. That's what we're trying to do. A back 9 of the Masters watch along. Yeah, providing I can get the screen up. I think I can get the screen up, but I don't think I can get the sound through. That's the only thing. Leave it with me. It's a good suggestion, but leave it with me. It's hard to put live stuff up, just to let you know. But that's been it. Coconut Coil says, I would love to come on if I can. Yeah, we're definitely going to look in the next month or so. We're going to definitely look for people to come on and do little guest spots and stuff like that. But we've had people come on and they have paintings in front of them and fucking like that. That won't wash. It just won't. It's funny, but it won't wash. But listen, I'm going to go. I've taken up enough of your time. I've talked loads. We've covered a fair bit. As I said, keep an eye on the Patreon where shows will be dropping all this week. We've a couple of more free shows coming this week. And yeah, we get through this week, and from Monday next week, it's all systems go right through to the 25th of May and beyond. That has been the Talkin Kop for Monday night. Thanks a million to everyone for joining us. Like, subscribe, leave a comment if you like. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon. Over and out.